Okay, good evening everybody, and welcome to another Cycling Time Trials Evening 10. We're on the V718 course, virtual course out South Cave Hull, and this is the UK's fastest 10-mile time trial course. I'm not sure how many riders we have lined up for this evening's event. At the moment, we've got 7 on the start line, including myself. Now, I'm not taking part, but I have to be a member of the start lineup in order to cover the event. So I'll be starting the time trial in 3 minutes 45 seconds and pulling over to the side of the road and then catching the rest of the riders making the start and on the road. I really hope we get a few more people. It's a shame if we only have such a small field tonight. But I'm sure those that are here are going to enjoy it. And there's time yet for others to arrive. Now, the last few weeks we've had Rob Stone taking the win. When he's been a part of the event, and when he hasn't been a part of the event, then he's been sharing the spoils with a few others. Doesn't look like tonight we've got any of the real flyers listed in the start list at the moment, but like I say, there's still time for them to arrive before the start of the event. I believe I'm the first rider off because I was the first person on the start line. So the event could be starting exactly in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. We'll see what happens. I really enjoy covering this event, but as I say, if it's such a small turnout, it's going to be over in no time. So we'll see what happens. It'll be a shame if we don't get more riders turning up. If I didn't have to cover the event myself, I would actually ride it, and certainly had I realised there was going to be such a low turnout this evening, I would have stuck my cycling kit on and taken part. Be that as it may, I will catch all the riders leaving the start line, and then we'll flick backwards and forwards between them on the road. I think the fast boys tonight is going to be Williamson and Smith. Stuart Smith is the event organizer, so he's always up and around either just off the podium or very close to it anyway. So I imagine he will do a podium spot this evening. My teammate Eric Bonner is a regular. He's here every week, as is Mr. Little and Mr. Glover for that matter. In fact, most of the people that you're seeing here tonight are regulars. They arrive week in, week out for the event, which is what an event like this deserves. Anyway, I'm going to jump on the bike and get ready to cycle away. And as I say, then I'll be stopping and just pulling over to the side of the road. So here we go. I should be the first man off. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that should do. And then if we page down, there's Mr. Glover. following me on the road. And then we got Pritchard following Mr. Glover. And there's Williamson making his start. Stuart Smith getting underway. Eric Bonner. Mr. Little. Oh, and Rob Stone has made it. So there's Rob starting his run now. Rob is last man on the road, but not for long. I think we'll see Rob quickly catching the field. And in fact, we might as well stay with him while he makes his first catch. You can see me on the side of the road there as he goes past. That's normal. But this is going to be a very short event tonight. I don't know whether Rob will feel like putting in a huge effort, but there's nobody really challenging him for the win tonight. So I imagine he's going to take the win fairly easily. And that's not dissing the other competitors. It's just this is Rob's event. He comes along and takes part and wins it week in, week out. So now you can see that there's two riders ahead because Eric Bonner has caught his 10-second man and Rob Stone is about to catch them both. Let's just spin the bike around. And there he goes, catching Eric. Actually, I'm wrong. It's Mr. Little that caught Eric, not the other way around. So, right, let's head up to the front of the race. Now, what's happened with Glover here? Why is he pulling over? Has he got a problem? He must have there must be a situation here because Pritchard is going flying past, and Williamson is catching Pritchard as well. So Williamson is currently leading on the road, with Pritchard not far behind. So there's Williamson taking over the lead. Now he'll give Rob a run for his money, I imagine, this evening. But I think Rob will take the win. Pritchard will try to stay within sight of Williamson just to pull himself along and give him a faster time in the evening. And that's the benefit of the virtual racing. In real life, we're not allowed to draft each other, but in the virtual world, drafting is turned off. So it doesn't even matter if he manages to get onto Williamson's wheel. He's not going to get disqualified for doing that like he would in real life. And in fact, Pritchard is putting in a huge effort here to try and get on Williamson's wheel because that will give him a faster time. It will pull him along. And even if he doesn't manage to get on his wheel, the very sight of Williamson in front of him, encouraging him to really push, that's what time trialling's all about. You have a man up the road, you get him in sight and you try to close the gap to give yourself a faster time. So this is good riding by Pritchard. And then you can see Stuart, he's a good 100 metres behind Mr. Pritchard. Where is he? I'm having a few technical glitches with the keyboard tonight. So there's Pritchard, there's Stuart. So these three there's not much between them, the top three, as you can see, which is why Rob is already halfway up the field and going to overtake them all. It's not going to take him that long before he catches the front end of this race. There's Rob. He's currently 200 metres behind, but I imagine by the time I get back to him, after following the rest of the field, he'll have cut that gap significantly. And Eric Bonner is last man on the road because you can't count me. I'm simply pulled over to the side of the road. I think Rob's pacing himself tonight. He's not going. I don't think he'll mind me saying he's not going full gas. Certainly. Stuart's doing a really good ride. But then again, he always does. He always puts in a really top effort. He obviously loves this event. It's his event. He's the one that puts it on every week, and he also takes part almost every week. So, and then we have Williamson out front, but he's managing to hold the gap to Stuart. Stuart's pegging him very, very slowly though, reeling him in by the look of it. 26 meters. So, if you let's spin the camera around and see if we can have a look and see what's happening on the road. There you go. You get a better view there. So you can see that Stuart is slowly but surely trying to pull him back. That's a better view. You can see all three of our 1, 2, 3 on the road are within sight of each other. And then, of course, if we move further down the field, back to Stuart, you can see Rob in the distance. So Rob's going to come up on Pritchard pretty shortly, I would have thought. There's Pritchard and Rob in the distance. But I can honestly say that Rob's on he's on a, what I would call, I don't think he's in race mode tonight. This is not, looking at the figures he's putting out, yes, really good power wattage, but his heart rate tells me he's not turning his numbers red like I would have expected him to do if he wanted to really be pushing on. So, but you can see already he's got Pritchard in sight. He'll come walloping past him. I mean, look at the difference in speeds here. Let's just. Stuart is doing 42 and Pritchard is doing 40 and Rob is doing 44. Now that gives you an indication of the different powers and speeds of the riders. You know, he's just gone past 4 kilometres an hour faster and he's catching up with Williamson and Smith. Now Stuart has gone past Williamson. Oops, wrong way. So there's Stuart. Stuart's doing 43 and a half. So he's doing 2 kilometres faster than Williamson, who he's just taken over the lead from. So our virtual leader on the road at the moment is Stuart Smith. When I say leader, I don't mean he's the fastest time. This is just he's the number one on the road. But number one on the road, and even if he finished number one on the road, doesn't necessarily mean he would have the fastest time. That isn't the way it works. You can clearly see that the man starting last, Rob Stone, will almost certainly be first finisher tonight. He's only got 2 more riders to catch, and let's have a look how much we've got. Lots and lots of distance to go. In fact, he's going to catch them probably before the halfway point. So if we page down to Williamson, you can see Rob Stone catching him. Now, once Rob gets first man on the road, he may well decide to step up his effort. He may well decide, well, I've nobody else to chase. Or he may decide just to sit back a little. I don't know. I can't speak for him. But he's certainly on a good ride here. In previous weeks, Rob's ridden anything from like he's ridden 21-minute rides, 22-minute rides. to take the win. I don't think it's going to be particularly fast tonight. He'll take his, yes, there he is. So he's first man on the road. And you can see Stewart, his numbers just went red there as Rob went past, trying to just hold the wheel. We look at the virtual speeds, 38.8 and 36. So he's doing more than 2 kilometres an hour faster than Stewart, is Rob, out front there. And this is what we call the turn. So Stewart's going to try and keep him in sight as we go around the turn, because that will help him pull himself along as well and maybe get a few more seconds off his best time. It's a funny game, time trialing. You can feel like you're on a good ride and yet not be going as fast as previous weeks, or you can feel like, oh, I'm just taking it steady, and you can pull out a flyer. It all depends on how the rider himself feels, but they usually know. Most riders will usually know whether they're on a flyer or not, or whether. And Stewart's on a really good ride tonight. This is a good effort. I'm just going to try and catch them as they go. So at the moment, Stewart's on for a 23-minute ride. If he can keep up this pace, you can see the halfway point that he's just arriving. So when I say 23 minutes, he should have a 23-minute ride tonight. Whereas, let's just go to Rob, who's just passed under. Rob's currently on target for a 22. Now, like I say, he's got two choices here. He can dig deep and try for a 21, or he can just sit back and maintain his existing pace, and it will be a 22-minute ride. So we'll see what he decides to do. Nobody's going to catch him, that is for sure. There's nobody on the road now, but Stewart is putting in a really good ride. Well, they all are. I mean, Williamson is on for a good ride too. Now, Mr. Little, you can see he's going under the halfway point, 12 minutes. So he's on for a 24-minute ride if he can maintain his current speed. There's Mr. Glover. And there's last man on the road, Eric. Doesn't mean he'll be last man time-wise, but it means he's last man on the road. Now, we'll just have a look at Glover going under the banner, and it'll give me an idea of his finishing time. So you can see at the halfway point, he's going to be over the 13.5-minute point. So he's on for round about a 27-minute ride if he maintains his current pace. Let's just quickly get back up the front and see what's happening there. So Rob is 6.8 kilometers to go, 13 minutes. So yeah, Rob's on for a 22-minute ride. He's not pushing the boat out here. You can see from his heart rate, look, it's dropped from, it was 153 when we checked in on him earlier, and it's dropping. So he's what we call steady state at the moment. He's not really digging deep. Whereas look at Stewart's heart rate. I mean, Stewart really is digging deep. He's giving it absolutely everything. There's no way you're going to have a heart rate of 180 and be taking it easy. And look at his power as well. So Stewart's putting in a really good effort here and a really good ride. And he's still got Rob in sight, which is helping to pull him along, because if you can keep, the rider in front of you in sight and actually try and close up the gap, which, to be fair to Stewart, he's holding steady, if not just slightly bringing it down, which is a testament to the way he's riding, and also the fact that Rob is not pushing things tonight. He's quite happy just to amble along. I say amble, I mean, yeah, he's riding a time trial, but he's certainly not digging deep like we've seen him in previous weeks because there's no need for him to do so. I think if he had Walters here or a few of his other challengers, then he would do. Now, obviously, Williamson, we can't tell how hard Williamson's working other than his speed because there's no heart rate. And heart rate doesn't tell the full story because, I mean, if I had a heart rate of 150, you'd think I wasn't working very hard. But in truth, 150 for me is quite high these days. Long gone are the days when my max heart rate was around the 200 mark. That's too many years ago now. But Mr. Little's working hard, judging by the power. Well, you can see his numbers just went red for a few seconds there. So he's definitely putting, and again, so he's definitely putting in the effort. And Mr. Glover is as well, 3.8 watt kilos. So he's definitely putting in a good effort here. And Mr. Bonnet. Now, what we'll do at the end of the ride, folks, is we'll pull up the RGTDB website and get the results live while we're while we're on the broadcast. So I'll pull that website up and we'll be able to see, because we've only got so few riders, we can see every rider's actual time, even though I'll be calling out the times as they cross the finish line. And I'm not always exactly accurate, though pretty close most weeks. So Rob's actually pulling away now, so he's putting a little bit more of an effort to pull away from Stuart. And Stuart is actually amping up his ride. You can see his heart rate's rising even further. So as we come towards the end of the ride, he's putting in even more effort. This is a stunning ride stupendous ride from Stuart. Williamson is putting in good wattage as well, look, 3.8, as is Pritchard. In fact, look at the riders, nearly all of them are putting in close to 4 watt kilos. You know, not Mr. Little at the moment, 3.5 there, but 3.9 from Glover, 4 now. You know, they're really putting in big efforts here. So it's not like these folks, just because there's a small field, it's not like they're not trying. They really are. They're putting in good rides here. Back to the front and Rob. And 3.5 kilometres to go, 18 minutes. Yeah, he's on for, it'll be a long 22 tonight, I feel. I don't think he's really concerned about going any quicker. So a long 22 or even a 23 for Rob tonight. Stuart could well be on for very. He's certainly got a podium spot because of the number of riders. But even if we had a full field tonight, this would be potentially a podium ride because he's riding so well. I think this is the best I've seen Stuart riding for quite a while. Really good ride. Nice wattage from Williamson too. Pritchard has got him in sight, so that's going to help. And you can see his numbers occasionally turning red, and 4 watt kilos almost, so not hanging about. Although his heart rate's, I mean, he must be either very fit or don't know why his heart rate is so low when he's putting in such good wattage. And there's various reasons why your heart rate can stay low, but that looks incredibly low for the wattage he's putting out. Unless he's a really big chap. If he's a big chap, then that would explain it. But Mr. Little. Eric can just about see the rider in front of him, I think. But let's go back to Rob. 1.9 kilometres to go, so he's going to be approaching the kite pretty soon. He's pulling out a bit more of a gap on Stewart behind him, but I don't think that really matters because this is 1.7 kilometres to go, so this is almost certainly a long 22, if not a 23-minute ride, unless he really crashes this last final kilometre. 1.5 to go. Let's see what it is when he gets to the kite, which is approaching now. 21 minutes and he hasn't reached the kite, so this is going to be a long 22. There we go. And there's the kite at 21:18. So how quickly can he cover this last kilometre? He's 48 kilometres. He's really not really up in his cadence though. So, and his heart rate. No, I don't think he's really giving this full gas. So I maintain what I said. This is going to be a long 22. And what we mean by short and long, folks, is anything over the 30-second mark is considered long. Anything before the 30-second mark is considered short. So I'm guessing that Rob's going to come in 22 over the 22:30 mark, just maybe. So that's why I say a long 22. This is still a very good ride, don't get me wrong. But unless he can get to the line within 4:13, no, he's not going to do. So this is going to be a long 22. And I'll give you what I consider to be the time as soon as he crosses the line. So here we go. Let's give his time. There, 22:36. Now this is a good ride by Stewart. This is going to be a 23. Zoom out a little bit. There we go, that gives me a better view. So this is going to be a long 23, but he's going to get there. Seconds to spare, so come on, Stuart. Let's have a 23. Got 15 seconds. Come on, you can get it. Can you do it? Yes, he's just about going to do it. 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. We'll give him 59. So 23:59. This is going to be 24 from Williamson. 24:33. And Pritchard with a 24:51. And Little was going to beat that. Thank you for the wave. 24:27. Now, these are all provisional times I'm giving you, but like I say, as soon as Mr. Bonner crosses the line, in fact, probably before he crosses the line, I'm going to fire up the database live, and we're going to be able to check these times. So some great rides here. This will be a 26-minute ride. Come on, Mr. Glover, keep it going. Let's have a short 26. Yeah. Yes, this is going to be a short 26. Because he's going to get there before the half-minute mark. Yes, easily. Well done, sir. So 26, 17, 26, 21. And then Eric, he's got 1.7 kilometers to go. So we've got time. I'm going to fire up the, well, no, we'll stay with Eric for a little while. At least until he gets under the kite, then I'll fire up the website. Come on, Eric, dig deep. I really want to take part in this event. I wish I'd put my kit on this evening, because with so few riders, I could have added to the leaderboard. Okay, 1 kilometer to go. Whoops, let's just bring that back up in a minute. Let's watch Eric come over the line first, and then we'll bring that back up. Okay, let's have a look. I'm sorry about this. Why we're not? There's Eric. Okay, let's have a look at the results. I can't see the event. Where's the event gone to? Am I missing it? No. Okay, there we go. There's a CTT Evening 10. Okay, so there we go. We got Rob with a 22:35. Stuart, I called his time correctly, just got in with a 23:59. Chris Little, 24:27. John T. Williamson with a 24.33. John Pritchard, 24.52. And Eddie, Mr. Glover, with a 26.21. So great riding, everybody. Well done. We'll see you in the next one. Enjoy. Okay. Well, for those few that came along, thank you very much for making an interesting event. For those that missed out, you possibly missed out on a podium spot tonight, or your best chance of having one with so few riders, but hopefully we can see a better attendance in this event in future weeks. I don't know what's on tonight. Snooker World Final on television. I'll be going downstairs and watching that in a moment. But for now, folks, I'm going to say good night. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all